Hi guys, welcome back. Well, how nice was that? Being out on the Veluwe for 3 days and 2 nights, just exactly in between two heat waves. That was amazing, right? And for those of you who have been following us for a little bit longer, you might have noticed some new gear. Because last weekend I was on the trail with this guy here and this guy. Two new pieces of gear that I bought for my upcoming summer vacation and that I wanted to test out in that specific weekend on the Veluwe. So let's go to talk about those two items. Obviously I have been using them for the first time, so it's not an in-depth review yet, it's more of a first impression video. And a little disclaimer, neither this pack, neither this tent has been sponsored. I paid both of them from my own money, and all the opinions and things I'm saying in this video are absolutely my own as well. So let's get started. I would like to start off with the backpack. This is a ULA Circuit backpack and it is completely customized. I customized the colors, so here the purple, the turquoise and the pink shock cords at front of them. That's all things that I designed myself. You can do that on their website. They have the regular packs and you can customize it completely, and then you can choose between the X-pack material, which has a little bit of limited color panel and color palette I should say, and when you go for the standard material then you have loads of choices, and that's what I came up with. Right up here in front you can see it as well. You can also choose an embroidery on it, so I've got our names on it. It is the Circuit, like I said, with some straps here at the bottom, a strap here at the top, two big hip belt pockets, Sandra Ravi, which are easily to open when you're carrying the pack. Hallelujah, not a lot of packs have that. So the reason I chose this backpack is mainly the volume, because you saw me using the Waymar Gear light pack. It's a 50-liter pack, which I absolutely love, but with summer vacation around the corner, it turned out that when I'm having to take multiple days of food for myself and Ravi, that I'm not able to fit it in. It's a 50-liter pack, like I said, and it's very tight and it doesn't do the comfort of the pack any good. So I decided to size up a little bit, and this is a 68-liter pack, so I have 18 liters more of capacity, and this thing is huge. When I used it last weekend, I was for the first time using it, and when you saw my Waymar Gear light pack, I had the tent on the side pockets, and in this one I have it also in here, and I had several days of food in it, 3 days of food, and my mom joked about it, I still had room to put Ravi in. That's how big it is, and that's absolutely great. And I think because it is a bigger pack, it's also capable of handling a little bit more weight. It is a framed pack, it has a frame here in the back. It is very comfortable to wear, and it wears up to 16 kilos of package weight. And I believe the Waymar Gear goes to 13, if I say it correctly, 11 or 13, I believe so. So that's a huge difference as well. And this pack was so comfortable, even with all the food and everything in it, tent in it. It was absolutely, I think I find it way more comfortable than I thought the Waymar Gear pack was. But I cannot give that opinion for 100% because I've only used it once. What I do like about this pack is that it has a padded back panel and padded hip belts and padded shoulder straps. And the Waymar Gear has that a little bit less, so I think that makes this pack more comfortable to wear. This one also has the S straps, which shape a little bit to the woman specific body, and that I think is what made this pack more comfortable for me. The only downside is because of the padding, which the Waymar Gear does not have. This one absorbs more sweat. It sounds a little bit gross, but the back panel, the shoulder straps and everything, they get a little bit more wet. So when you're taking a break and you're taking your pack off, you're putting it back on after your break, then it feels a little bit cold because of the sweat, and sweat's obviously cooling down when you stop moving. So that might be a little bit of a downside, but it only lasted a few minutes and then you didn't feel it anymore, so I didn't really care about it. So my first impression of this pack is very positive. Like I said, it wears super comfortable, and I think this is definitely the one that's coming with me on summer vacation next week. Only 1 week. Oh, finally. Did you remember that I said it in my overnight video from Strabrechtse Heide that it was not getting closer? Well, the day after tomorrow, it's now Wednesday, so on Friday we can say only 1 week left. You guys have to wait a little bit longer because I have some videos coming before my vacation, but definitely going to take you. So what's there more to say about the pack? Yeah, it has some compression straps here. I attach my hand sanitizer here and my first aid kit. On this side I have my cooler cloth. Of course I have added some patches to it, our hiker tag and Ravi's keychain that was also on my other pack. It has a shock cord here. It has a mesh pocket, which I like because I mentioned that before. I think that I prefer the mesh, and with the Waymark gear you didn't have the choice. You didn't have the choice here either, but I absolutely love that it's mesh. It has two big side pockets, which is nice as well because you can adjust them here. So if you're having something in here that is not super big, you just tie it up here and things cannot fall out. So that's my first impression of the ULA Circuit, a pack that I absolutely seem to love. I love the colors, that's a fact. And I think we will be coming back to you after a summer vacation with a little bit more about our thoughts in regards to this pack. Now let's on to the tent. Our new tent. Don't we love our big Agnes anymore? Of course, we absolutely do. But where we are going to hike for summer vacation, it can be a little bit more rainy and windy and everything. So I preferred a tent that I can set up a little bit more quicker. And this one was on my list for years. But as some of you might know, this tent is so hard to get to. I'm talking about the Dan Durston X-mid tent. And I've been trying to get it for years, but every time I was too late and I missed it because they were only sold in small batches a couple of times per year. And it just didn't work out, and or I was too late or I didn't have a credit card, so I could not order it. But this year I was quite lucky. Actually, in first place I was not, because I missed it again. I was in time, actually had it in my shopping cart and I was in the entire payment process, and then my credit card got refused. Tried it again, credit card refused. 3 times a charm, right? Let's give it another go. So I tried it again, sold out. Well, then I thought, well, I'm done again, still going to miss it. But I decided to send an email to Dan himself and explaining the whole thing. And oh, Dan, thank you so much, because he was so helpful to me. He listened to my story and what went wrong, and he couldn't find a solution straight or what caused the refusing of my credit card. So what he did, he provided me with one of the tents that was actually laying separate for guarantee cases and things like that. So that made sure that I did get the tent. So I'm absolutely grateful for that and happy. And this one is a new version actually. And when I'm looking back on the last few years, I'm actually quite happy that I wasn't able to get it sooner, because they always had the completely mesh inner tent, and this one is with a solid inner tent. I will blend in a photo so that you can see it, and that means that until halfway of the inner tent it is a solid version and not completely mesh. And that's really nice because it provides a little bit of extra warmth during the night. And what I also think is really nice is that Ravi does not see anything that's happening outside of the tent. If I'm having the outer tent open, he cannot see it. And what he used to do, it's not that bad anymore, but when we started camping and we had a tent that had a mesh inner tent all the way to the bottom, when people were walking by, he was always barking at them because he could hear them but not completely see them. And therefore I think a solid inner is way better for us. And when we slept in it last weekend at the Veluwe, I absolutely loved it. It's a super light tent. It's a little bit over 1 kilo. It's a 2-person tent, so that means that it's a little bit smaller than my big Agnes is, but it's still huge from the inside. Ravi and I had absolutely huge amount of space. I'm not that big, so it was high enough for me as well. This tent you do set up with your trekking poles, so you do not need any tent poles to take with you. The tent itself weighs a little over 1 kilo, and I do not count in my trekking poles as weight in my pack, because 9 out of 10 times, well actually 10 out of 10 times when I backpack, I hike with my poles. So I use that as, or I calculate that as one weight, so to say. So a little over a kilo, 2 trekking poles and some stakes. Stakes come with it as well. I decided to replace them because I did not like them 100%, but my first impression from the tent inside was great. It's very easy to set up. You have to get a little bit used to it because you have to put it, pitch it really tight and in a complete straight angle. So otherwise your inner tent will fall a little bit onto your outer tent. Kom maar af, Ravi. Kom maar. So we had that problem first night when it was raining a little bit, or a little bit lot, that the outer tent was resting on top of the inner tent, which means that the inner tent was getting wet as well. So I had both a wet inner tent and an outer tent when I had to pack the next morning. So that's something to be aware of, that you have to be a little bit goofing around with it and figuring out how it exactly works. And then I think it is absolutely an amazing tent, and I'm very happy that I'm one of the lucky few to have one. This one is going with us on summer vacation as well. I think someone is thinking that I'm forgetting him on summer vacation. No, I'm not, buddy. So that one is definitely going with us. So both items, the pack and the tent, I absolutely love. First impressions are great. The tent is a 20 denier tent, so I think it's a very sturdy one. It held up really great in the rain. And you want to go camping? Is that what it is? And held up really great. Love the mesh, the solid inner tent. Should not make it up by that one because I do not have the mesh tent. So I think both items I absolutely love. Both are approved for summer vacation next week, and both are going with us. So also for the tent, I will get back to you after the vacation's over. So this might not have been the most informative video I've ever made, but therefore it was also meant as a first impression video. More details, reviews and everything will definitely be coming up later this year, but I wanted to give my first impression because I think those things count as well. Then I would like to say thank you for watching this video. Don't forget to give us a like, subscribe to the channel and notify the alarm bell so you get a message every time we upload a new video, which is always on Sunday, and I always try to upload a bonus video on Wednesday as well, at least as long as the weather is good and we're able to go outside for a lot. And then I would like to say enjoy the outdoors, and we will catch you on the next trail. Goodbye.